game that did catch my eye when I was a child, it was this. Robocop from Day to
Serve
East.
the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law. Robocop.
Now, considering this game was made in 1988, it looks amazing. It really does look good. In fact, it looks better than some stuff released on the Nintendo DS these days.
Garbage.
This is definitely one of Day to East's finest games. Not easy, mind you. This is very tough. Unless you know where to be standing, you're gonna get your ass handed to you fairly quickly. Throughout the stages you'll see various items which you can pick up, such as this three-way shot and that lovely massive bazooka thing that's in the movie. I can't even remember what it's called, but you know the one it looks like a great big massive, I don't know, extended blaster, and you know, one fire from it is like setting off a nuclear explosion. Yeah, that gun, that's in this game too.
You are under arrest.
Thank you.
While the game doesn't exactly follow the movie's plot, it does feature key elements from the movie, such as various enemies, weapons, and some scenes, which do resemble scenes from the movie.
You are under arrest.
Thank you.
See, as you can see, we got the scrapyard level here. Not exactly as it appears on the movie, but you know, it is sort of relevant. You can see up there we got a power icon in the shape of baby food. And as we know, Alex He needs to eat baby food to keep himself alive. There's that great big gun. What I really do like about this game is the background music in it. Day to East have done a really good job taking various tunes from the actual movie and reworking them into this game. Also, the speech is crystal clear as well. You'd be forgiven in thinking this game is a lot newer than, what was it, 1988 or 1989? So through 2 points of the game, you get to play these bonus stages. They don't really have much meaning apart from getting a high score, but you know, high scores mean bonus lives. I do like the way they're set out. It's quite similar to the way Robocop's targeting system works. So if you've never played Robocop, the arcade game, before, I seriously do recommend checking it out. It's not an easy game by no means, it's very, very difficult. But it's just so rewarding, and you know, it's a classic bit of gaming history.
Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law. Thank you for your cooperation. Murphy.
Super 4WD, the Baja, or Baja, however you pronounce it. So you got 3 different courses to research, and you got Mixed Go and 2 others, which I didn't get to see before they went off. Now for the Super Nintendo game, or Super Famicom game, as the case is with this version, it does look quite nice. I really do like the way they've taken a basic 2D ground and sort of made it into a 3D looking ground. With realistic, or for the time anyway, realistic jumps and hills, dips and whatever. The actual car sprites are pretty good as well. Now they may be lacking in animation compared to today's games, but you know, for back then, that was quite nice. Now basically the aim of the game is, if you couldn't guess, is to get from A to B, and to gain the fastest time and lose the least amount of money. Unfortunately, you get these stupid bastards on quad bikes getting in the way all the time, and if you run them over, you lose quite a bit of money. Which is a big problem because you need your money. He didn't look too impressed then, did he? Another thing about the game is that it can be a little bit on the dodgy side when it comes to playability. Sometimes the truck does feel a little bit, I don't know, unresponsive, and it can be quite annoying when you're trying to get past a load of cars in front of you. But you know, for the quick blast, this is not such a bad game, and I do recommend checking it out if you can find it cheap. I think it's called Super Off-Road the Baja in the Western release. Not too sure on that, to be honest, but I'm sure a Google search will soon bring up the answer. So let's take our look at this week's Shite of the show. Street Fighter? That can't be right, that's not Shite, is it? This version of Street Fighter is Shite. This is on the Sega Master System. Okay, so we can select our character. I think we'll go, fuck it, we'll just go Ryu like always. Yeah, go on.
Ryu! Round 1!
Now, while the music is complete and utter garbage, you do have to give it to the programmers of this game. They do deserve a little bit of credit because they've actually got the speech in there, and the animation is not too bad for the Master System anyway. And graphic-wise, yeah, it's not too bad, I guess. Could have been better, I suppose, if they upped the cartridge size, but for what it is, it's not too bad. Now the biggest problem is, this game plays like shit. It doesn't even play like Street Fighter. But the Start Master System only has 2 bloody buttons, A and B, so in this game's case, one is punch and one is kick. Now you just saw Ken throw a fireball there. You try and throw a fireball, and I'm telling you, if you get one out, you're bloody lucky. In fact, to get any moves out in this game, it's just a matter of pure chance. No skill involved whatsoever. The controls are absolutely diabolical. It's unbelievable. How the hell this passed the Q&A or the quality assurance? I do not know. It's just fucking awful. And also, why is Chun-Li got a fireball? I'm pretty sure she didn't get a fireball in Street Fighter 2. That didn't come into the later games. As you can see, I'm just standing in one place and kicking bloody Blanca in the face. In fact, you can do that with pretty much any character and you'll win the round. See, I'll do it with Guile as well. Yep, so there you have it. Street Fighter for the Master System. Complete and utter shite. No surprise that it was only officially released in Brazil. Yep, this was an official release. It's not a pirate bootleg, it was official. Doesn't stop it being shite, mind you. And from that shite to something good, Robo Army for the Neo Geo. So what's so special about this game, you may be thinking? Well, you're a cyborg and you beat the shit out of robots. What more could you ask for? In fact, it's just a load of mindless violence, and that's something which is missing from games these days. Yeah, I mean, walk along beat 'em ups. So yeah, from the days gone by, this is one of the better walk-along beat-em-ups. Certainly not remembered as much as the likes of Final Fight and what have you, but it's definitely one of the more enjoyable ones out there. And it just goes to remind you that SNK did make many more games that weren't just one-on-one fighters. In fact, SNK used to make loads of different games. So throughout the stages you'll come across sub-bosses which are pretty weird. It's like a little normal size enemy, and then don't know what happens. Loads of duplicates of that enemy sort of fly into him and he grows. Very odd. But not as odd as your main character, which can transform into a car. Look at this! Now that is nuts. And yeah, again, some more evidence that the programmers were definitely taking something. A robotic car that chomps on your head. Bloody hell. So yeah, if you get the chance, Robo Army is definitely worth at least playing a few rounds in the arcade, if you ever see it in the arcade. Better still, buy the original Neo Geo version, if you got a Neo Geo that is. While there's not much variety in the game, most of it's just sideways scrolling, you do get these little vertical scrolling levels. But like as I said, there's not much variety in the game, but in games of this type, most of them don't have much variety. It's all about kicking ass, and that's what this game does well. It kicks ass. Oh, it's all about beating the crap out of people on today's retro core, isn't it? So here we're going to take a look at the arcade version of Double Dragon and the Sega Master System and the Famicom version. Actually, this is basically just a Master System and a Famicom version versus feature, but I've thrown in the arcade version as well, so you can actually see which version of the home conversions resembles the arcade version the most. Now, as you can see, the title screen on the Master System was quite similar to the arcade, and the game even started off quite similar to the arcade version, whereas the Famicom had a different title screen, and it also seemed to give you this little introduction to the level. Color-wise, the Master System version looks a hell of a lot nicer, it's a lot more colourful. But the Famicom's characters do seem to be a little bit taller. That could be down to screen resolutions. Also, the top of the image is missing off this Master System version, you can see here. It wouldn't fit on the screen, it was too tall. Now, one thing that the Master System version is lacking is the ability to climb up ladders onto a second plane, which the arcade version and Super Famicom, Super Famicom, which the arcade version and the Famicom version do feature. However, the Master System version features this brute that comes out of the wall, which is completely missing on the Famicom version. By the way, the music you're listening to is coming from the arcade version. Playability wise, I find that both versions, both home versions, are a little bit on the stiff side. I think the Famicom or Nintendo version probably plays the best, but they're both a bit iffy, to be honest. Collision detection seems to be a bit off on both of them, and the computer characters seem to be able to punch you while you're still punching them. So here we go, taking on the first boss of the first stage. And you notice that the Famicom version has gone to a completely different level. God knows why. What is interesting though is the Master System and the Famicom version seem to share sprites for the bosses. Both of them look like, I don't know, just big humps of Play-Doh with round heads. So here we go with the second level, and yep, again the Master System version seems to look a bit more faithful to the arcade version as far as the floor goes, I guess. Famicom version, God knows what's happening there. But again, the Master System is missing the ability to climb up the background. Move-wise, both home conversions feature all the moves, however I would say the moves are easier to get out on the Master System version. So which is the best version overall? Well, both home versions are a bit on the cack side, to be honest, but if I had to choose one, probably the Famicom. But it's not that far ahead of the Master System.